guys, it's Danielle, Kayla, and we are back with another video. So today I wanted to do a special video in honor of World Breastfeeding Week. I wanted to do my breastfeeding journey. So some of you may know I have a 20-month-old, and yes, we're still breastfeeding 20 months strong, so you know that in itself is amazing. Yep. Okay, so in this video I wanted to just tell you guys about my journey so far and answer a few people's questions in this video. So stay tuned, and yeah. So basically, let me just say why I wanted to breastfeed. So before I ever knew anything about breastfeeding, my mom would breastfeed. So like that was just basically the norm for me. So I grew up seeing breastfeeding. So I'm just like, okay, when I have my child, I'm definitely gonna breastfeed, okay? So then I had my child, and let me tell you something, guys. I thought it was just pull out the boob, here you go, baby. The baby latches, baby drinks, easy peasy lemon squeezy. No, what they don't tell you is it takes about 5 days, 3 to 5 days to get your milk in. So basically what the baby gets in the beginning is colostrum, which is good for the baby, but like in my instance, my baby had to go, she was 4 weeks early, so she had to go to the nursery for a whole 24 hours. So in that 24 hours, they took her blood sugar, and her blood sugar kept being low. So then I was just so sad, and then I did not want her to like get a bottle or anything because I knew about nipple confusion, and I did not want any of that. I was terrified because I wanted her to be able to take my nipple. So I told them specifically, no formula. I'm breastfeeding. So every 2 hours, I went downstairs and I fed my baby. So they just kept telling me, okay, her blood sugar is low, we're gonna have to do something. So then a nurse who was working there is my friend's mom, and she told me, okay, like, you know, I was strictly breastfeeding, don't give my child formula. But she told me just give her some formula to get her blood sugar up. So like that in itself, like I was just so sad because I was like, maybe I'm not producing enough milk at the moment. Maybe I just felt, you know, all these things were going through my head. So I was just like, if this is the best thing to get her, because if I did leave her in there, if they had checked it the one last time and it was low still, she would have had to get an IV and all that, and I did not want any of that. Okay, so basically I agreed, and then that's what got her to be able to come to me. In the beginning, like in the hospital, to me she seemed like she was drinking good. Like she was on the move for a long time. Like they don't tell you that cluster feeding is no joke. Cluster feeding is like when they for like a period of time they just keep wanting to be on the boob. She was on the boob for like every second. So like when I got her, she wanted to be on the boob every minute. But all the nurses came in and said, okay, are you your first time mom? Because you're doing great. You're natural. I'm like, okay, good, okay. And then because I didn't have her with me the whole time for those 24 hours, I was told to just power pump. Let me tell you, I pumped, and she was like, the more suction you do, the better it is. I think that's a lie, because let me tell you, all that pumping made my nipples sore. I feel like that's the reason my nipples were like one of them was like very like whew. So like I would like put it in her mouth. I'd be like I had to take the pain. But yes, let me tell you, I was determined. At our local WIC office, we had this lady help me, because anytime like she basically would say, we had a meeting with her, and she was like, if you ever need any help, just text me, call me, and I will basically I will help you. So then I would text her. I wanted to meet with her to make sure I was latching properly, and we had a whole meeting, and she said I was doing great. She like the baby will get, first off, they show us this chart, and the baby's tiny, the stomach's like this, so the baby's getting what the baby needs. Well, you know us, we want to make sure our baby is getting we just want to make sure our baby's not going hungry, okay? So when we went to her 2-day checkup, she lost pounds. So she lost a few pounds. So then she was like, you know, maybe your milk is not coming in. She gave me sample formula to give to her. So then, you know, I whipped out my nipple and I said, psh. I was like, see, because I'm showing her my milk is here. My milk is definitely here. So then she's like, oh, you have milk. Yes, I have milk, and I'm determined. Because like that whole process, like just being in that itself made me feel very sad. I felt like I was failing my baby. I felt like what in the world? Like I just felt like I want to breastfeed so bad. I'm trying to do right, but maybe I'm not doing, maybe I don't have enough milk. Maybe my milk isn't good enough. Like I just felt like hopeless, which the worst feeling to feel when you just had a baby. Okay, so like time went on, my mom would come and help me latch because yeah, when I tell you my mom was one of my greatest supporters. She was one of the best. She was like, you can do it. She's like, it just takes time, but you can do it. She helped me. She came and showed me. She like, just put it, like, you know, I thought before this, I thought just the nipple goes in the mouth. You have to try to put your whole areola in the mouth. So then I was like, how is this gonna, and then my struggle, I was like, how is this gonna fit all in her mouth? Like her mouth is tiny and my areola is not. So what's gonna happen? So then time went on. I had the breastfeeding thing down packed. I was doing good. It got better. Like the whole raw nipple, that lasted for about like a week and a half. But then it got better. I was told to put lanolin cream or coconut oil on it, and it'll help it. Or even squeeze some of your breast milk and put it on the nipple and it'll help. So I did all of those things and it ended up like helping. So 3 months comes and let me tell you what happened. 3 months time, it was my husband and I's first year anniversary. So you know, we wanted to go out for our anniversary. So like I had pumped milk already. I had, like, let me tell you, I built up my stash in those 3 months. The Haka is your best friend. Let me tell you, Haka was my best friend, because while she's eating on one side, instead of your milk wasting into the breast pad or whatever, it was dripping into the Haka. I would get 1 to 3 ounces just sitting there feeding her on one side and the milk dripping on the other side. So like when I tell you, that was amazing. So we spent one night away and we let my mom and my aunt keep Khaleesi. So when they kept her, they used the Nana Bee bottles. And what I didn't know is, first time mom again, I didn't know that bottles had different flow. Basically bottles free flow more. For the boob they'll have to work, but for the bottle they won't have to work as much. So I did not know that they were using that bottle. Apparently she loved the bottle, but when I came back after one night gone, she rejected my nipple. She did not want it at all. And when I tell you, it was sad. When I came back, I tried giving it to her. I tried anyway. She was refusing it, but she wouldn't eat. And then that's when she started to not eat. So as she's not eating, the only time I was able to give her the boob was when she was sleeping. I would force it into her mouth and then she'd suckle and drink while she's sleeping, which, you know, that's horrible when your baby's like not eating. And she's like, because she was starting to be, she was 3 months, so she was starting to be awake and then she slept. So she was sleeping but not like, so whenever she slept, I would like sneak the boob in there and that's when she'd eat. But then in the daytime she'd be like like she wasn't getting it. When I tell you, that was sad. It was very, very sad for me. Like, it was horrible. So it was horrible. So what so like let me tell you, I actually cried during that time. I cried and it was like, that was the worst time. That was like one of the hardest parts of breastfeeding for me. I'm like, and I used to look at these, like, I used to look at these videos and these people just breastfeed so easy and the baby wants it, and I'm just like, how am I ever gonna get here? Like, what's gonna happen? So now, as you see, I'm still 20 months strong and she's a breastfeeding pro. She be on the boob and she goes this way, that way, this way, this way. Let me tell you, trust me, when you think like it's going wrong, it gets better. Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and answer these questions that people had for me. Okay, who are your biggest supporters? What was my biggest struggle? Biggest struggle for your experience with breastfeeding. Okay, as I said, my family in a whole was all breastfeeding supportive. My family, my friends, my best friend. Let me tell you, my best friend Angie, let me tell you about this girl. If we would go out a little bit, she'd make sure I pump. She's like, you have to do everything. Like, you have to make sure you pump. You do not want to, like, she made sure your girl was good. Like, she helped me with a lot. Like, kudos to you, Angie. So my family and my friends, they did great. And my husband was one of the best supporters too, because he was like, He was like, babe, you got it, you got it, you got this. Like, I told you, I was crying, weeping, all that. Like it was hard. Okay. The biggest struggle, as I told you, when she wouldn't take the boob. And then like she wouldn't, like there was a time when I feel like she wasn't latching properly. Like, so it's like when it was sore, I thought it was sore because it was my fault, but it's just, I guess I had to get used to it. And I even went out and bought a nipple shield. Didn't really use, I bought a nipple shield during the time when she wouldn't take the boob, but that didn't even really work. Okay. Biggest motivation for breastfeeding, my mom. Like this whole time, like I know secretly in my head, I'm like, my mom breastfed for a year, I gotta make it to that year. So I'm like, okay, if my mom can do it, I can do it, okay? So, you know, that was my motivation. My motivation was like, I can't quit. My mom didn't quit. Who am I to quit? And I'm in breastfeeding groups online. So it's like amazing to see like people's breastfeeding journey. Like it's amazing to see like all the motivation helps you. Like, yes. Biggest push to continue through certain struggles. The health of my baby. I wanted my baby to get full health. So like I wanted her to have all of the nutrients she needed. I wanted her to, they say they don't get sick as much. Like I wanted what's best for my baby, and so my milk is what's best for my baby. So that was my biggest motivation too. Okay, talk about your challenges, especially as she got older, and how I overcame them. Okay, so challenges. I think the bottle thing. My challenge, I had to like find what bottle I could give her for like when I'm not around. Like if I needed her to stay with a family member or stay with somebody while I'm gone, I had to figure out what bottle. So I went through a whole bunch of bottles, and because I didn't want her to be nipple confused, I didn't want what happened at 3 months to happen again. I wanted to buy all the bottles in the world. So the bottle that the bottle that ended up being the best bottle for me was the MAM bottle. M-A-M. It's the MAM bottle. That bottle, yes, saved my life. I got I made sure she was on one flow for the longest so that she don't get confused. And I want to tell you, I was scared. Like, but let me tell you, that bottle worked out great for me. That bottle was my lifesaver. Another challenge, I think sometimes I challenge her with like saying, oh, I want her off, like I want her to stay on. A piece of me wants her to like come off, but the bond that we have, I feel like the bond is amazing. So like I'm pregnant now with my second child, and she's still breastfeeding. So like a lot of people was like, you need to start getting her off the boob, you need to start getting her off because she's not gonna want that baby to be on. But it's just like, I started to cry when my family was telling me that. My mom was like, I know it's emotional. Yeah, because it's just like, that's my baby. She comes to me for her nurture. Yeah, I don't want to just rip it away from her. And I don't want her to, like, I don't want her to see the other baby having it and be like, why can't I get it? Why was I forced off of it? Like, that's my little dilemma that I'm having right now. So yeah, that. How to get him off. Going on 60 months and he can't stop and won't stop. Let me tell you something. Trying to get Khaleesi to drink regular milk, hardest thing ever. She still won't drink regular cow's milk. Like she won't drink like the regular milk. She'll drink lactate milk, but let me tell you, she's 20 months. She started drinking that milk at 19 months. Because, you know, breast milk is sweeter. So because breast milk is sweeter, you know, say you're going from, say you're used to eating something sweet your whole life, then all of a sudden you get regular bland milk. Like, because, you know, regular milk is not sweet at all. It has no like sweetness to it at all. She did not want that. Like, she started drinking Pediasure. So she started drinking Pediasure. So that was the first like thing she started to drink and want. So then she started to drink one. Then I kept trying to swap it out with the lactate milk. And then like now I could get her, like, in the morning she'll drink some lactate milk when she wake up. In the morning or at night before she go to sleep, she might want some milk. Like, don't get me wrong, she's still on the boob. Like, she'll drink the milk and then she'll put it down and then say boo boo, and she want that boob. Like, there's no replacing it. It is a struggle. It's either like, I know my mom said that with me, I was one who was strictly breast. I didn't want nothing else. She said that she had to just make me cry. I would cry, and she said I'd get hungry enough to where I'd have to drink the milk. And yes, they would, because when I did try to not give it to her for like, I didn't last any hour or nothing. Like, she like she started to cry, and I felt so bad. I'm like, oh no, I'm giving it to her. But then eventually, like, as I kept trying to give her the milk, she started to take it, and like, but it took her 19 months. So like, somebody at my doctor's office, she said to get her her 2-year-old off, she had to she rubbed lemon on it, and at first he was like, eh, but she thought that it wouldn't work because the baby liked lemon. Like, at least he likes lemon too, so she thought it wouldn't work. But then he took it that one time, but then after, he's like, no thank you, no thank you, mommy. So, you know, like, I think it's just trial and error. Like, literally, let me just tell you, in the process of trying to get them to drink milk, you will waste a lot of milk, because I told you, I was giving her milk and she did not want it. Oh, that's all my questions, guys. My breastfeeding journey was a journey, but the thing is, I'm still loving doing it. Yes, I went through struggles. Like, I thought it was easy peasy lemon squeezy, and it was definitely not. But you know, I guess, you know, practice makes perfect. That's what I'm gonna say. With breastfeeding, practice makes perfect. And don't let anybody get you down. If you feel down about it, there's groups, there's people to talk to. You always have you might always find somebody to talk to that like could relate. Yes, thank you guys for listening to my breastfeeding journey. Happy World Breastfeeding Week. And if you guys have any questions, comment down below, send me a DM, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and see you next time. Let me know if you want any other mommy videos for me. Like, just let me know. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.